Today I'm going to talk about my absolute literal favorite feature in the brand new iPhone 15 Pro Max. And since it's my favorite and it's my channel, that becomes the most important. Technically, this is an iOS 17 feature, but I first saw it on the Pro Max, so that totally checks out. In Gary's world, welcome to Gary's world. I was hoping to talk about the iPhone 15 standard this week, but UPS literally lost my phone in transit and Apple won't deliver another one for like 2 weeks. Yes, that sucks. Maybe we'll make a video about the process when things go wrong when you order an Apple device. Without any further ado, the single most important feature about the new iPhone lineup is the standby mode. Holy crap, I love this. Boiled down, the nuts and bolts is, it's a mode that turns on when you set your phone in a wireless cradle or plug it in and turn it sideways. I can't turn it sideways today because it's controlling the teleprompter. Basically what this does is it turns your iPhone into a desk clock. And for the kids out there that don't know what I'm talking about, ask your parents or I guess even your grandparents at this point. Seriously, we used to have these like boxy things that sat next to our beds that told time. And maybe some of the fancy ones had radios built in, and sometimes they turned off and didn't actually wake you up in the morning, leading to 2 of the best movies ever made. Standby mode also has a pretty decent amount of customization options built right into it. Essentially what it does is you have different screens and the majority of them split your phone into 2 halves, and you can customize what those 2 halves show at the same time, if anything. You can cycle through different types of analog clocks, digital clocks, you can pick a calendar, reminders, stocks if you are addicted to watching the markets and you have to see the move at 1 o'clock in the morning, I guess, or some other things. Personally, I have mine set up to show the big, bold digital clock with the date right next to it. Also, a gush within a gush. Insert Inception sound noise here. The font for this clock face is amazing. I'm not a font expert, but it works perfect. It works so good as a desk side timepiece. I'm serious. This whole video, if you haven't noticed, is just me talking. I'm gushing because I have loved this. You can access reminders or your calendar right from the standby mode itself. You don't have to take the phone off the cradle and then start interacting with it. It's like the perfect distillation of what a desk clock today would need to access. Right? I mean, like back in the 80s and 90s, we didn't have these magical slabs of infinite knowledge in our pockets, so there was no reason for the clock to have our contacts or our calendars. I mean, they couldn't. You had like a big Rolodex, right? But being able to see what's going on for the day as you wake up, that's pretty awesome. The customization here is, I had it in the script called Next Level. I wouldn't call it Next Level, like you can't move around the clock however you want, but I do really like that there is customization instead of being stuck with one standard view or maybe a couple pre-made options. You can really set this up pretty much however you would want, which is important because you probably don't want to see the same information I do. A nice little thought for this is it starts off projecting in a red color scheme. That might sound weird for a cell phone, Gary. Hey, it's the future. We can have whatever color we want. What that does is it protects your night vision. One reason you see military folks use red lights at night in the movies and TV shows, well, besides that light doesn't travel as far, is because when you use white light, it seriously affects your night vision, where red doesn't as much. So if you wake up in the middle of the night, your phone won't straight up blind you with the power of 2,000 nits of max brightness. Like you don't have a sun turning on right next to you. It's enough that you can look over, see what time it is, and regret that Diet Coke right before bedtime. Speaking of being able to see it at night, this uses a motion sensor to turn the screen on or off, and it's actually really good at detecting when you might want to view the screen. It's so good that I thought the display was just on all the time until one night, half asleep, I walked back to bed only to notice that the phone was dark. One hand wave later, and it's back up. And team, I don't mean to oversell this, but it's creepily accurate. I haven't yet wanted to see the screen, only to have to like wake up and tap or fiddle with my phone to make it work. Standby mode so far has a 100% success rate, and I don't know whether to be impressed of or weirded out by that. Like, my phone is watching me while I sleep. If I had one complaint about this feature, you can't change the settings of the mode unless you are in it. What that means is if you want to customize anything about standby mode, you have to have your phone plugged in, turn sideways, and have the screen locked. It's not a deal breaker. It is doable, but it's kind of a pain in the butt, and I wish there was just a setting in the menu to change it even when the phone is vertical in my hand. Like right now, I wish I could update some of these things, but I have to wait until I plug in and turn sideways, all that stuff. All in all, even with that little nitpick there, this is hands down my absolute favorite recent addition to the iPhone lineup. I think this makes so much sense, and whoever came up with this, you are my new favorite designer. You can put that on like your signature block in your email. the everyday dad's favorite designer. Yes, I've seen a bunch of negativity about the iPhone Pros, but I haven't had any issues yet. But we'll try to find those for the follow-up as we make additional videos on it. But what about you? Have you used the standby mode yet? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. And click here to see the 1-week follow-up to the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Click, 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 click. Thanks for watching.